The waterways in Chelmsford are an attractive feature of the city. Compared to the city streets, waterside walks provide a beautiful and inspiring way to get around the town and to exercise. Attractive waterscapes in the heart of the city make it look and feel as if you're in the countryside, even in the heart of the urban area. This bridge takes Waterhouse Lane over the river. What a different perspective from the water. The Chelmer and Blackwater navigation reaches into the town. You can get to the sea from here by boat. The Sea Cadets and the Chelmsford Canoe Club are the main users of the city centre rivers. Boats add interest and vibrancy to the water, whilst providing worthwhile fun and activities for people of all ages. Some of Chelmsford's bridges are beautiful, functional and at a sensible height for river navigation. Others are less attractive and too low for navigation in all but the smallest of boats. We believe that when bridges are built or replaced, we should strive for high quality, pleasing designs with adequate height for navigation. Have a look at this contradiction. The mooring bollards on this platform suggest an aspiration to attract visiting boats, but look at the low bridge to the right of the picture. It would obstruct their progress. In Chelmsford, we have two beautiful but separate waterways. They are tantalisingly close to each other, and the water levels are the same, but if you want to go from one to the other by boat, the only way is to haul your boat out of the water and somehow transport it over dry land. The official solution to this problem is boat rollers. Anyone who has tried to use them will know that even if they are maintained meticulously, which they are not, they don't really work. The canoeists who use them regularly find them counterproductive, and most other boats are too heavy to haul over them anyway. For many years, inland waterways enthusiasts have been advocating the obvious solution, namely linking these two bodies of water with a 165-metre long extension to the canal, referred to in shorthand as the Cut. The city could then reap the many benefits from waterway restoration and new build experienced up and down the country.
One of the things about the canal is that a lot of it is unknown to the general public. There are a few favourite locations that they visit where there is good access, such as Heybridge Basin, Hoe Mill, Paper Mill Lock. When you get to Chelmsford, however, very few people know that we actually have a canal in the centre of Chelmsford. The Inland Waterways decided to produce their own proposals, and this illustrated the potential of the canal and the rivers in Chelmsford, how new development around the basin could actually encourage a use for it. Prior to this, there had been no reason for people to actually go to Chelmsford. I mean, if you moored your boat, you couldn't get off and walk to the town centre. There was nothing there to attract you. And we suggested that a new canal cut could be built across the old gasworks site to link the canal with the river, and perhaps new town centre uses could be introduced to regenerate the whole of what was a rather derelict area. And if nobody else was going to restore the canal, then the Inland Waterways Association could take quite a leading role and put a scheme together to do the work. We were able to persuade the canal owners to let us carry out the repairs to the lock, rebuilding the brickwork, cleaning out the rubbish, and also carrying out new gates. We persuaded the county council to repair the listed bridge adjoining the lock because it was a public footpath and parapets were missing. It was in a pretty poor state. And during that year, we were able to get a very rapid restoration underway. The actual completion of the lock repairs was quite hectic. We had a 2-week canal camp at the site, but progress was very rapid. We had an awful lot of volunteers turn up, some very useful volunteers, and we were thus able to get the lock complete and the basin ready for reopening in May of 1993. which was the bicentenary of the original Act of Parliament for the navigation. And we held a National Trailboat Festival on the site at that time, people trailing boats from all over the country and even abroad. And this is something we'd like to see happen much more often in Chelmsford, is this sort of scene with boats gathering on a regular basis and using Chelmsford as a destination point. And I think it is now very interesting to see that proposals are being put together for the future of the area, which will, if carried out, create a real destination point and an asset to Chelmsford. So there is now a serious commitment to actually regenerate this area using the canal and rivers as a focal point in the scheme. One of the aims of the new development at Chelmsford Waterside, as it will be known, is to incorporate, as part of the Essex Centre, an active science museum. And a feature of that is proposed is to use the new bridges as science bridges, so that these can be interpretive demonstrations of the principles of science. And the aim of this is also to actually make more of the bridges, because I think whilst Chelmsford is beginning to make something of its rivers, most of the existing bridges are rather dull. The drawings that were produced for the lottery bids did illustrate some principles, and one of these showed a water wheel bridge with the pedestrians actually walking through a large new water wheel.
And of course, I've always been enthusiastic about making a link between the River Chelmer and the canal itself, which would enable full navigation to proceed certainly up as far as the meadows. Of course, it would proceed further if the council hadn't made a mistake and allowed low bridges to be built.